Some men find out by accident. I found out because she was careless. It started on a Sunday afternoon. The kind of quiet, lazy day where nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Amelia was in the kitchen, humming to herself as she made coffee. I was sitting at the dining table, flipping through my phone, half paying attention to the sound of her movements. It had been a normal morning like any other, until I picked up the notepad. It was one of those small, leather-bound ones she kept by the phone, where she wrote grocery lists, reminders, random notes. I had never paid much attention to it before. But today, for no reason at all, my eyes caught a single line written near the bottom of a page. Secret email, Luminous Guy 348. I stared at it, my brain slow to register what I was looking at. Secret email? Amelia had never mentioned a second email. We had been together for 10 years, married for 7, and as far as I knew, she only had one. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe it was something work-related. Maybe it was old. Maybe it wasn't even hers. But doubt had already started creeping in, slithering under my skin, sinking its claws into my chest. So I did what any husband would do. I memorized the email, and I found the password. That night, after Amelia had gone to bed, I sat alone in the living room, my laptop open in front of me. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, hesitating. This was a violation, wasn't it? I was invading her privacy. But then I heard her voice in my head. If you have nothing to hide, there's nothing to worry about. So I typed in the email. Then, when it asked for a password, I took a deep breath and entered the one I had found. It worked. The inbox loaded. Hundreds of emails. I clicked on the first one, and my world collapsed. Messages from a name I didn't recognize. Ethan, I miss you. Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you. I kept scrolling. Message after message, spanning months. Plans to meet. Lies she had told me so she could be with him. Explicit details that made me sick. She had been cheating on me, right under my nose. And she had been stupid enough to leave the key to her betrayal written down on a notepad in our kitchen. I closed the laptop. Sat there, staring at nothing, my hands shaking. I wanted to wake her up, scream at her, demand answers. But no, that wasn't good enough. She had built this lie carefully. She had made me believe we were happy, that she loved me, that she was mine. So I was going to tear her world apart, piece by piece. The next morning, I acted normal. Amelia kissed me before heading off to work, completely unaware that I knew. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the notepad where she had so carelessly written down her secret. My hands itched with the need to destroy something. And then it hit me. Amelia's most prized possessions? Her collection. She had spent years collecting antique figurines, delicate hand-painted porcelain dolls, rare sculptures from different countries. She obsessed over them, cleaned them weekly, refused to let anyone touch them. She loved them more than she loved me. So I knew exactly where to start. That night, after she went to bed, I went into the display room. I stood there for a long moment, taking in the rows of glass cases, the carefully arranged figures. Her pride, her passion. I grabbed the first one, a delicate, 18th century French porcelain doll, and I smashed it against the floor. The sound was satisfying. So I picked up another, and another. One by one, I destroyed them. Some I shattered against the walls. Some I crushed under my heel. I left no survivors. By the time I was done, the floor was littered with broken pieces, the remnants of everything she held dear. I stood there for a moment, my breath heavy, my heart pounding in my chest. Then I turned off the light and walked away. Let her wake up to the ruins. The next morning, I was in the kitchen when I heard the scream. It was followed by the sound of rushed footsteps, the sharp intake of breath, the breaking of something else as she stumbled through the wreckage. I sipped my coffee, waiting. She came running into the kitchen, her face pale, her eyes wild with panic. Joseph, my collection, what happened? I looked at her, my expression blank. I don't know, I said. Maybe it fell apart on its own. Her lips trembled. Fell apart? Joseph, everything is destroyed. I took another slow sip. So what? Her breath hitched. She wasn't used to this version of me. I saw something flicker in her eyes. Fear. Why don't you sit down? I said. We need to talk. She hesitated but did as I asked, her hands shaking as she pulled out a chair. I leaned forward, keeping my voice calm. Who's Ethan? Her face went white. She opened her mouth, but no sound came out. I smiled. Got you. I found your secret email, I said, keeping my tone casual. Read your messages. Went through every little detail. Tears welled up in her eyes. Joseph, I held up a hand. Don't. Just don't. She broke, sobbing, pleading, reaching for my hand. But I just stared at her. Do you know what disgusts me the most? I said. Not the cheating, not the lies, but the fact that you were too stupid to even cover your tracks. You wrote the password down. She let out a choked sob. I didn't mean. I laughed. Cold. Empty. Yes, you did. Silence stretched between us. Then I stood up. You're leaving. She shook her head frantically. No, no, please, Joseph, I love you. I tilted my head. Love. I let the word sit in the air before I crushed it. You don't even know what that means. Her sobs grew louder. But I didn't care. I turned my back on her. Pack your things. I want you gone by tonight. She didn't move. So I said the final words that broke her completely. I already changed the locks. She gasped. And then, finally, she understood. She had lost. She had been crying for hours. I watched her, feeling nothing. No sympathy. No regret. She had made her choice. Now, she had to live with it. She clutched the doorframe, her voice shaking. Joseph, please. I don't have anywhere to go. I met her gaze, my expression unreadable. Not my problem. Her breath hitched. She knew this was real. She had lost her home, her comfort, her entire world. She stepped onto the porch, hesitated, then turned back one last time. Do you think you'll ever forgive me? I tilted my head, pretending to think. Then I smiled. No. And I shut the door in her face. I listened as she broke down on the other side. Then I walked away, leaving her in the past, where she belonged.